guys, I'm Joe, and today I'm here to talk about a new release, finally. I know I've been slacking on that lately, but today I'm here to talk about Edgar Wright's latest film, Baby Driver, starring Ansel Elgort, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey, Lily James, John Hamm. Quite a few people are in this movie. If you ask me, it's a pretty cool cast. It tells a story of a getaway driver named Baby, played by Ansel Elgort, who's a professional getaway driver for Kevin Spacey, who has this ragtag team, so to speak, to carry out his plan, and Baby is the expert driver who can get away from the cop pretty much without any problems. But then certain things start to happen when Jamie Foxx shows up, and then when Baby meets a girl, he starts to have second thoughts about his life choices and figures that maybe he wants to move away from this life. Now, I don't recall ever saying it on this channel, but when it comes to Edgar Wright, I think he's very, very talented and very skillful as a filmmaker. Some of his movies are a little hit and miss for my liking. I really like Shaun of the Dead. I love Hot Fuzz. That's my favorite of his Blood and Ice Cream trilogy, if that's what it's called. The World's End, I wasn't as big a fan of, even though it does have entertainment value. Scott Pilgrim, I'm actually planning on seeing that with a couple of friends of mine in the not too distant future, so we'll see how that goes. So anytime that Edgar Wright does a movie, how can I not see it? Even if I'm probably not going to be a big fan of it, because he's a very unique director, and you don't really see too many guys like him. With his editing style, his very unique sense of humor. Walking into this movie, I thought, well, who knows, it could be good. And I was pretty pleased walking out of it. I thought it was a really good time and a really exciting, mostly in the second half. The first half starts off pretty good. You get to know Baby, you get to see the team of people that he works with and Kevin Spacey and so on. And then you have the romance with him and Lily James, which I thought was not the best romance I've ever seen, but I thought it was fine. It wasn't like a detriment to the film for me or anything like that. But the second half is when things start to get really exciting. And Ansel Elgort, I have only seen him in Fault in Our Stars. I was not a big fan of that movie, to be honest, even though he was probably the best part of that movie. This, I think, is going to get him a lot more opportunities in the future because he's really good, and he doesn't really say a whole lot. His character has a tendency to make conversations into these mixed tapes that he listens to, and he can have his headphones on while Kevin Spacey's laying out his plan for what the next job is, and Jamie Foxx will be like, I don't know about this guy, he's not saying anything, and Baby will take off his headphones and recite the entire plan, and they're like, okay. Kevin Spacey is Kevin Spacey, but I mean that in a good way, because it's Kevin Spacey. What else do you want? Jamie Foxx put me on the edge a few times because his character is very sly and very intimidating, and you don't exactly know what he's gonna do in the next moment or so, and causes some needed tension with him and Baby, because, not to get too spoilery, but when Baby sees him do certain things, that's what kind of starts to make him reconsider his life choices. The rest of the cast in here does a really good job, and the camera work in here, it's traditional Edgar Wright. I don't really think you're gonna be disappointed if you love his style, especially the way he edits certain scenes together. And there's this one shot in the opening where it goes on for about maybe good 2 minutes when Baby's listening to Harlem Shuffle with his headphones on, and he's doing all these movements in the street. I've done that a couple times. Maybe not out in public like that kind of public, but within my neighborhood, so to speak. And pay attention to the graffiti in that scene because it actually makes it a lot more fun. If there's any problems I have with it is that the romance I think is fine. Not the best, but it's not the worst thing either. And the first half is not as strong as its second half. It starts off pretty good. It's not like the strongest I've ever seen, but the second half I think really, really elevates it. And while it does go down certain tropes that you might expect to see, they do happen, but not necessarily in the way that you might think it turn out. Which, considering Edgar Wright's unique take on familiar premises, I wasn't too surprised, but yet I was at the same time. Overall, I really enjoyed Baby Driver. It's not my favorite of his. I think Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are still his best, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a good time with this one. If you're looking for a really good time, if you're a fan of Edgar Wright, give this a watch. You're more than likely gonna have the time of your life. So, what did you guys think of Baby Driver? Let me know down below if you loved it, liked it, or thought it was alright, or did you hate it, whatever it is. And I'll see you guys next time.